Your online sports show is back again. This is all things football, football Unpacked. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to it. My name is Apiwe Roto, who will be the new champions of the Calling Black Label Knockout Cup. My guests have been dethroned. Tournament's most successful and Kaiser Chiefs were eliminated in the first round. Mamelodi Sundowns, who go into every tournament as favorites, have also been eliminated. However, in other news, Kaiser Chiefs, Stellenbosch, and Mamelodi Sundowns now know their fate as far as the inter-club competition is concerned. Remember to interact with me from the social media perspective. You have Facebook, like our page and follow all things football Unpacked. We're also on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Share your thoughts on the current stories that you're going to hear. Angola have invited the one of the powerhouses of world football for an international friendly, which will be played on the 14th of November in Luanda. I will bring you that story. That's just among other stories that we have on the show. Coaches have come and gone as we go into AFCON. Another club has finally appointed a coach. From a national point of view, Zimbabwe and Tanzania have new head coaches going to the AFCON, who will emerge victorious under such little time. This is the last show before the international break. Let's get into our news making headlines in the world of football and the last week. Now, I must confirm again, this show does not dwell on rumors. These are facts, nothing but pure facts that are currently ongoing. The idea of the show is to update the viewer with news results while we talk all things football, not only locally, just also internationally. South Africa, Africa, Europe, and of course the rest of the world. Let's get into our news making headlines in the world of football, starting with Angola, who have announced that they've confirmed an international friendly with three-time world champions who are the current defending champions of the world in Argentina in the upcoming international friendly on the 14th of November. According to Sports News Africa, it is said that the Angolan Football Federation, the Angolan Football Federation, the FAF, will fork out an amount of 12 million euros, which is 239 million rand, for the high profile encounter, which will not only serve as an AFCON warm-up for the Angolan side, who are paired in Group B from who will be competing in the Africa Cup of Nations, which they are yet to win in a tournament that will be played in Morocco. They find themselves in Group B with Egypt, South Africa, and fellow COSAFA neighbors in Zimbabwe. Now this is the only group that has three Southern African nations. This is the only group that has three Southern African nations out of all the groups, with the exception of Group A, which has two COSAFA nations in Zambia and Comoros, while Botswana find themselves in Group D with Benin, the DR Congo, and of course Botswana. Let's get Mozambique on Group F with Cote d'Ivoire and Cameroon and Gabon in what has been groomed the group of death. Now, Morocco had also reached out to face off for a friendly game with Argentina. However, it was said that Argentina demanded 10 million euros for a friendly, while we can expect the friendly between Angola and Morocco at the most likely Luanda, the 14th or the 11th of November stadium, most likely to be held there, which will help new mentor in French Patrice Bermeulet who prepare his team for Africa's biggest showpiece. Onto our other news. Orlando St. Aloy Lupopo have also lodged a complaint to CAF against Orlando Pirates, citing physical aggression towards their players and the use of what they claim is a toxic substance, which is said to have been sprayed in their dressing room. Now, the two teams faced off in a two-legged preliminary round. which would determine which team would make it into the group stages, which finished 3-all on aggregate after Pirates fell short in the DRC by 3-0, while Pirates returned the favor at Orlando, got even in Orlando by 3-0 before they falling short on penalties by 5-4. Now, so that Orlando Pirates were the first one to lodge a complaint over the eligibility of the deal, Coach Guy Bukasa, who was suspended from CAF during the during the under 20 AFCON following his involvement in a brawl in a under 20 AFCON match against South Africa, while Mulia was alleged to have been registered outside the transfer window. Now, the people involved in this situation find themselves in this situation and on the receiving of the complaint by Orlando Pirates include Coach Guy Bukasa and two players, Hanok Mulia and of course Ramos Kashala Wanet. It is understood that the Orlando Pirates believe Bukasa was not supposed to be in the dugout on the day after he was suspended during the AFCON under 20 AFCON, which was played in Morocco after being involved in a brawl. While Henok Mulia was registered during outside the transfer window. At the same time, Wanet's registration with the Congolese outfit is disputed for holding two passports. Speaking to Lupopo General Secretary Jean-Luc Capent, he has confirmed that his club also lodged a complaint against Orlando Pirates. We saw the commotion that occurred last week at the Orlando Stadium as the club was making their way to the stadium, and we're not sure what the commotion was about. We will hear what happened. CAF is still deliberating the matter. Stay with all things with your number one online sports show. We'll keep you posted with the events that happened with regards to the matter and everything that will be decided by FIFA. Speaking to Jean-Luc Capent, he states that it's crazy that on your side nothing is reported that we have lodged complaints against Orlando Pirates. Speaking to Kickoff over last week. This was last week when he spoke to Kickoff. We have lodged complaints for the act of aggression towards our players and coaches and also for spraying toxic substances in the locker rooms, but you have not mentioned it. Klopopo's complaint is supported by more than 10 videos apparently, including those showing pharistic practices. Now we know local teams. There are teams who are said to believe in Muti, and we saw what transpired going into the game. That is something they did not take kindly. This is something they supposedly did not take kindly. Lupopo filed a complaint with CAF seeking the suspension of Orlando Stadium. So they are against Orlando Pirates using the Orlando Stadium for CAF competition. They reached out. Kickoff has reached out to have reached out to Orlando Pirates to comment. However, no response has been given as of yet. On to our other news. Namibian and Baroka FC defender Ananias Gebart has called it a day on his professional football career. With 41, now the Namibian defender Ananias Gebart has called time on his professional career. The 37-year-old defender had already called it a day on his international career after being capped 41 times. Now the Namibian left back arrived on South African shores after applying his trade in his home country, in his homeland of Namibia, where he joined as Nkosi Jomo Cosmos for 2 seasons before moving to Baroka FC. Speaking to the Namibian defender, he states that it's enough now. I've always struggled with muscles. I've been always struggling with the muscles lately, especially with the hamstrings. Now hamstrings can go from 6 to 8 weeks. You need close to 6 to 8 weeks to recover. So to some extent, I understand where he's coming from. I just need to ease the pain. I cannot continue like this, he told the Kickoff website on Tuesday. I can't pick up the body and make runs while suffering. So when the time is right, you will just know. The body will tell you it's enough. Man, we have pushed. Not everyone reaches where I am. When this season started, I didn't really want to start, but I pushed myself. It was gonna be one more season, but clearly the body can't take it anymore. It's the just both hamstrings that have been troubling me, that have made me miss the huge chunk of the AFCON. If you remember, I've stopped playing for my country already after the AFCON. He did announce his retirement after last year's AFCON, which took place in Cote d'Ivoire. I'm going back to chill a bit with the family, continue to support the boys that are playing football, take it day by day, and look into my other stuff that I've been investing in. Obviously, everything happens for a reason when it and you take it how it comes. One thing I know is I gave it my all till the last day. We wish the Namibian player, the Namibian sensation, the best of luck in his future endeavors. Thank you for your contribution, not just to South African football, furthermore, not just contributing to South African football as a whole, but to your home country of Namibia. We hope you won't be lost in football circles. Football needs you. Thank you, Ananias. On to our other stories. Zimbabwe have appointed Marian Marinika as the new head coach of the Zimbabwean men's national team. The decision comes after the Warriors relieved their previous coach and German Michael Nies after a dismal showing during the FIFA World Cup qualifier, which saw Zimbabwe finish bottom behind Rwanda, Lesotho, Benin, Nigeria, and eventual group winners in South Africa, who finished the group at the top of the table with just 1 point ahead of their rivals in Nigeria, which leaves Nigeria as one of the best runners up, who will take part in the FIFA World Cup playoffs, which will take place next week on the 13th of November in Morocco. In a statement that was made by the Zimbabwean Football Association, is FIFA for short. They appointed the coach is no stranger, by the way, to African football, having had spells with Malawi and Liberia. He signed a 1-year deal. In a statement written by the Zimbabwe Football Association, it says the Zimbabwean Football Association are pleased to announce the appointment of Mario Marinika as the new head coach of the Zimbabwe national senior men's team, the Warriors, on a 1-year contract. The statement reads, a huge accomplished FIFA, a highly rather accomplished UEFA Pro licensed coach. Marinika brings over 25 years of international coaching and technical experience across 4 continents, namely Europe, Asia, and South America, just to mention a few. He also a postgraduate diploma in sports coaching from the South Bank University of England, which is in England, and a diploma in management, and underlining a blend of technical expertise and strategic leadership throughout his distinguished career. Marinika has also worked with several prestigious clubs, namely Arsenal FC, Chelsea, who are in the Premier League, along with Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur, Internazionale Milano in Serie A, and of course AC Milano, who plied their trade in French League 1. Other countries include Mauritius, Paraguay, Malawi, and Liberian national teams. I wish Zimbabwe well in their endeavors, and Zimbabwe will be in Group B, also win the Africa Cup of Nations, where they'll be paired with West Africa, South COSAFA neighbors in Angola and South Africa, alongside the tournament's most successful nation the Pharaohs of Egypt. Moving on to our other stories, Orlando Pirates head coach Dasalam Owadu has been awarded for his brilliance by the Premier Soccer League for the monthly awards of September and October. Now, the coach had a slow start, which brought him mixed fortunes, with many calling for his head. Just prior to the start, just as the season kicked off, despite being a brilliant display in the MTN 8, there were calls for his head after not so good start from the league point of view, where they fell short to Skukune United at first ask, and also falling short to Marumo Gallants as time went on. Another player who was also on the receiving end of the now, who was also awarded for the also got an award, was another player who was recognized for the month of September and October. Now, remember, these awards go to coach and player and are recognized. There's three awards that I recognize. It's a coach of the month, it's a player of the month, and a goal of the month. In this case, we have a player who's won both player and coach of the month in Sianda Ndlovu, who plays his football for Golden Arrows, Lamontville Golden Arrows. He was awarded for both goal with player and goal of the month. Now, the 23-year-old winger has been nothing short of brilliant, contributing 3 goals and as many as assists in the last 5 matches. His goal of the month comes in the game against Stellenbosch, in which they unfortunately lost by 4 goals to 3 at the Athlone Stadium. While beating the likes of likes of Jason Clifford's goal against Kyle Chiefs, which served as an equalizer in that 1-1 draw, and Tabang Matuludi's decider for Polokwane City against Chippa United, which they won by 2 goals to 1 at the old Peter Mugabe Stadium. All Things Football would like to congratulate both Coach Abdeslam Owatu and Sianda Ndlovu. Fanatics, if you like the show, please interact with me on social media. We have the YouTube, where you can like the show, All Things Football Unpacked. Give us the thumbs up, ring the bell for future notification of new episodes that premiere every Saturday afternoon at lunch hour. And of course, we have Facebook, where you can follow the show, All Things Football Unpacked. We have, not forgetting, TikTok at All Things Football _14. For Instagram, also available. We have also All Things Football _14. On to our other story, speaking of coaches that have national teams that have appointed new coaches. Tanzania have appointed former younger coach and Miguel Gamondi as the head coach of the Tanzanian national team. The 58-year-old Argentine tactician will take charge of the East African nation on an interim basis after a poor showing after a poor FIFA World Cup qualification campaign, which led to the departure of coach Hamed Suleiman, despite leading them to 4 consecutive Africa Cup of Nations, leading them rather to the Africa Cup of Nations, which will be hosted in Morocco. Now, Tanzania find themselves in Group C with Nigeria, who are 3-time winners, 2004 winners in Tunisia, and of course former runners-up in Uganda in Group C. Now, speaking of the appointment, this is what the Tanzanian Football Association the Tanzanian Football Federation has to say in a statement. The Tanzanian Football Federation, TFF for short, has terminated the contract of head coach Hermed Suleiman from Morocco. Therefore, the contract has been terminated by mutual agreement, namely TFF on one side and coach Morocco on the other. As a result of this action, TFF have appointed the Tanzanian Football Federation has appointed Miguel Gamondi on an interim basis to take care of the Singida Black Stars as the acting of the Miguel Gamondi rather of the Singida Black Stars. Now, Miguel Gamondi is currently coach of the Singida Black Stars. However, will take the role of an interim coach for the Taifa Stars for the duration of the Africa Cup of Nations. Discussions have been held between the Singida Black Stars about the coach and taking on the new responsibilities. Coach Gamondi will lead the Taifa Stars in the AFCON finals to be held in Morocco starting this December this year. We wish Coach Gamondi all the best and success going into his new journey as he goes on the national scale. Now, you must remember, Coach Gamondi is no stranger to Africa. He started here. He was assistant to Engel Kappa during his time at Sundowns before he had to leave before Coach Kappa left for what he cited were personal reasons, leaving him and Nel Tovey at the time to take over, leading them to a league victory of that year 2005-2006, where they dethroned Kaizer Chiefs of the PSL the then Castle Premiership. He went on to lead Platinum Stars. He's also worked with Yanga, just to mention a few, and was now with Singida Black Stars. On to our other news stories. Cape Town Spurs have announced a long-term partnership with Italian sportswear giant in Kappa. Now the agreement cites that Kappa will become the official technical partner of the club, which will supply apparel for the senior teams and the newly launched Urban Warrior schools. Now the club's youth, not forgetting the club's youth initiative. Now, if you've been following the program, we spoke about the saga at Urban Warriors and the situation that has been ongoing with the situation that's been ongoing with regards to the financial aspect, where they cited that the chairman, the CEO said that the parents will have to contribute some money because running Ikanga it proves costly now that they've been relegated to lower divisions. They have to finance everything themselves. They'll have to ask sponsors. This is where Kappa stepped in, which we'd like to congratulate both Cape Town Spurs and Kappa for this partnership. We hope that it prospers. Cape Town Spurs CEO says, we were speaking to Cape Town Spurs CEO. He said in a statement, this partnership with Kappa is a powerful endorsement of the new path Cape Town Spurs has embarked on, kitting our senior teams and Urban Warrior schools under one banner as a statement of intent for our future. Fans will also benefit from a rebranded store at Ikamva. Ikamva is the academy, the football academy of Cape Town Spurs, like as Kaiser Chiefs have the Kaiser Chiefs Village, where they produce players from all ages, from different ages, starting from the under 13s. Speaking to head of Kappa in South Africa, Jureki Joseph, he states that he also had something to say, mentioning partnering with Cape Town Spurs, a club with a clear vision for youth development, is a natural fit. We're not just supplying kits, we are investing in the future of South African football. The Urban Warriors' ambition combined with Kappa's legacy will create a strong and successful presence on and off the pitch. We wish the former and the latter the best in their future endeavors. The world governing body has imposed a transfer ban on Egyptian giant Zamalek. This comes after the world's governing body released their latest registration ban list this week, where Zamalek found the chopping block found themselves on the list. Unfortunately, this comes as a result of former Zamalek player who now this comes as a result of former Zamalek player Mohamed Ashraf Roka, who is said to be owed money by the Egyptian side. The details of three cases there are three details of the matter that have not been disclosed by FIFA. However, furthermore, the ban will be lifted once all three disputes have been settled. One of them, as I mentioned earlier, is Mohamed Ashraf Roka, who is still owed by the side. Egyptian outlet ISCO have reported that the transfer ban adds to Zamalek's ongoing financial difficulties, which will also have an effect on the business in the January transfer window. Now, Zamalek currently will be in the Zamalek find themselves in Group D of the CAF Confederations Cup, where they'll be paired with neighbors Al Masri and of course the team they last met in 1993, Kaiser Chiefs, and of course Zambian giant powerhouse and Zesco United. South African clubs. Speaking of which, South African clubs, Kaiser Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns, Stellenbosch, and Kaiser Chiefs opponents have been confirmed in the upcoming inter-club competitions, which are said to start on the 22nd and the 23rd of the weekend of the 22nd to the 21st to the 23rd of November rather, starting with the CAF Champions League, where we have the CAF Champions League, a draw that was made at the Supersport Randburg Studios on Monday afternoon. We saw Aras Bakan in Group A. Group A of the CAF. We start with the CAF Champions League, where we see Moroccan Giants and Aras Bakan defending champions Pyramids and Rivers United of Nigeria. It's the first time in a while we've had a Nigerian side in the continental competition, and of course Zambia's very own Dynamos. Group B will see 10-time winners in Al Ali, who are the tournament's most successful side, alongside with Tanzanian Giants and Young Africans and Asfar of Morocco, not forgetting Algerians and JS Kabylie, who were Super Cup runners up in 1996, where they were beaten by a South African side, Orlando Pirates, who had won the 1995 CAF Champions League. Group C will see its 2016 winners in Mamelodi Sundowns, Al Hilal of Sudan, MC Alger of Algeria, and of course Orlando Pirates nemesis and Saint Eloi Lupopo. While Group D will see Esperance de Tunis, Simba Sports Club of Tanzania, Atletico de Patrolua of Angola, and of course Stade Malien of Mali. CAF Confederation fixtures will see USM Alger of Algeria, Jaluba de Bamako of Mali, OC Safi, and St. Pedro will make complete Group A. Group B will see Wydad Casablanca, AS Manima, Azam FC of Tanzania, and Nairobi United of Kenya. Group C will see Siad Dart of Algeria, Siad Dart of Algeria, Stellenbosch of South Africa, AS Otoho, and Singida Black Stars of Tanzania. While Group D will see Zamalek SC of Egypt, Al Masri of Egypt, Kaiser Chiefs of South Africa, and Zesco United. Now, two of Kaiser Chiefs have faced two of these sides, dating with Zamalek having faced Zamalek in 1993, where they won one game by 2-1 before falling short by an odd goal in the second leg, which saw the Amakosi eliminated, while they faced off against Zesco United, where they lost by an aggregate score of 5-1 after losing the 5-2 after losing the first game by 3-1 and the second one by 2-1. Moving on right along, we have Bafana who have announced their squad. Coach Hugo Bros who has announced his squad to play in the international friendly versus Zambia on the 15th of November, supposedly at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in Gqeberha. Goalkeepers Ronwen Williams, Ricardo Gos, Sipho China, while your defenders include Toba Matuludis, Kosinati Sibisi, Samkelo Kabini, Khuliso Mutau, Aubrey Mutiba Mbeze Mbogazi returns from suspension, Thabo Moloisane, and of course Nkulumani Mdamani. Tebogo Mokoena will lead the midfield with Talent Mbata, Masidi Nemtajela, Spepelos Tole, Batusi Obas, and Batusi Obas. Talent Mbata, of course, and Spepelos Tole, while the forwards, the attack will be led by Oswin Apollos, Mohawan Kota, Sepang Morepi, Evidence Moremi, Evidence Mahopa, Lyle Foster, Sipombule, Gelato Mahalwa. Now, if you heard clearly during a press conference where he named the squad on this past Thursday, he did say that he already has 80% of the players has been calling to the national team will be at the AFCON. So he does not want to. He has no intentions. He does not have a lot of intentions in terms of tinkering with the squad. He doesn't plan on tinkering with the squad too much because the AFCON is just a month away. It's a matter of getting your players intact, players at the right players at the right time who will understand their assignment. And these are players he's been playing with. A chunk of these players were part of the team that brought the bronze at the previous competition, that being the Africa Cup of Nations. Of course, we are also hoping for the return of Themba Zwane, who's been hampered by injuries most recently after that ACL injury during the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Congo and Brazzaville last year. We hoping Umshishi will be back in good form and in good spirits. However, he's speaking to the Mamelodi Sundowns midfielder. He has stated that he is good to go. He is fit. It remains to be seen whether or when Coach Miguel Gamondi will put him on. I hope to see Mshishi sooner rather than later on the football field. We still need you, Mshishi. It will be good. It will be good to have you back on the pitch. Now, the Nigerian Football Federation, in our last story, has expressed displeasure over FIFA's decision to appoint Abong Tom as referee for Nigeria's FIFA World Cup playoff encounter against Gabon. Now, the West African Giants missed out on an automatic qualification to rival South Africa, which meant Nigeria finished as the group's best, one of the four best runners up. Now with the World Cup FIFA World Cup qualifiers, we're going to have 9 teams who will receive automatic qualifications, while to make it 10, one will have to go through the playoff route. Now the commotion stems from Minister of Sports Gayton McKenzie, who said some words who had a choice of words which the Nigerians did not take very kindly to, stating that he wishes Nigeria would miss out on the World Cup. The players will be hosted in Morocco, where Nigeria will face Gabon, while Cameroon will face Cape Verde. Cape Verde Nigeria will face Gabon, while Cameroon, who finished runners-up behind Cape Verde, who will be debutants in this year's tournament, will play the Democratic Republic of Congo, in 2 semi-finals. Now, these are 2 semi-finals. There are no second legs. We will go to penalties if need be. And of course, we will go to the final, which will also be a once-off. All of this will be held in Morocco, and referees will be held. The refereeing team who will be heading this game will be the refereeing team will be headed by Abongile Tom, who will be taking charge of the game, assisted by Sakele Siwela on the touchline, while Akona Makalima will be heading will be leading the VAR. The appointment has received some backlash from the Nigerian circles, prompting questions about the neutrality. According to the UK's Guardian, a member of the Nigerian Football Federation went on to ask, how can FIFA appoint a South African referee after their sports minister openly wished Nigeria would not qualify for the World Cup? South Africa are clearly hostile to us. It is also believed that the Football Federation, also the one who filed a complaint with regard to Bafana losing those 3 points. Surely Akona Makalima and Abogile Tom and Zakele Siwela would not jeopardize their jobs by sabotaging the Super Eagles, making them miss out on the world's biggest showpiece, that being the FIFA World Cup, with bad decisions. And I can tell you for free that they're not gullible to an extent where they'll put their jobs on the line, because our minister is not the one who. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not condoning what the minister said, because you're supposed to be neutral. Everything that happened. However, I'm also not happy with the Bafana football manager getting a slap on the wrist. No consequences, nothing, no repercussions for such negligence. All we were told is that he went to get some ice at on the duration of the yellow card, so therefore he could not see the yellow card, and he could not detail this. He did not recall the suspension. It's a thing of the past, according to our minister. When Minister Gayton, it's a thing of the past, according to our president, Dr. Danny Jordan. Now, when Minister Gayton McKenzie, who was asked not to be too interfering, now we cannot have political interference intervene with our football as a result of what happened in the past with regards to our football. You need to remember that we are late bloomers as far as the international sport is concerned. Therefore, we cannot afford to have interference. We saw Zimbabwe, who missed out on last season's tournament. We saw Zimbabwe miss out on last year's tournament after political interference. disrupted the football in Zimbabwe. Therefore, it meant Zimbabwe would be dismantled, will be disassociated with the AFCON qualifiers. They finished at the bottom of the group where they were paired with Morocco, just with Morocco being one of the teams, Uganda and South Sudan, just to mention a few, in the last tournament. This dates all the way back to 2023, going into the 2024 showpiece. Now, now that we've just concluded our stories, let's go to our results. Starting with Mamelodi Sundowns on the 1st of November, will play to a 1-0 draw after Cameron Denson cancelled Peter Shalolile's opener to force a 1-1 draw with the Scorcher, while Corbett College will put on a brilliant display against Magesi at the Olympia Park Stadium, beating them by 3-1. Polokwane City could not be separated, with Richards Bay playing to a 1-0 draw in a rain-infested Peter Mgaba Stadium. A brace from Amazulu's Pule Extin also played a hand in Amazulu winning by 3-0 against Chipa United at the Buffalo City Stadium in East London. Golden Arrows to TS Galaxy proved too strong through the younger brother of Pagamani Mahlambi, getting on the score sheet with the opener before that own goal by Sanele Bands in the second half to make it 2-0 to TS Galaxy, while Golden Arrows proved too strong for their calling knockout opponents tomorrow, Magrumo Gallants beating them by 4-0. Let's see how the Premier League. Onto our Premier League mid-weekend fixtures, we saw Crystal Palace proving too strong for their London neighbours, beating them by 2-0. Nottingham Forest beating Manchester United, playing to a 2-2 draw with Manchester United after Manchester United were forced to come back from 2 goals down, which left Coach Ruben Amorim impressed for some reason, because he's dead set that each time United go down by 2 goals or more, they tend to be disjointed and just let their guard down and lose all faith and start panicking and not playing football anymore. Onto our other fixture, we saw Burnley go down by 2-0 to Arsenal, who made it 14 goals in all competitions, with their and another clean sheet, of course. They're yet to concede a goal going into November, having gone into October without conceding a goal. Brighton, too strong for Leeds United, beat them by 3-0. Fulham also winning by the same scoreline against Wolves, which saw the dismissal of Victor Pereira as Wolves coach. Tottenham Hotspur falling short to Chelsea by an odd goal, while Liverpool went back to winning ways by 2-0 against Aston Villa. Sunday saw Nuno Espirito Santo get his first win against Newcastle, winning by 3-1, coming from a goal down. Manchester City proved too strong for Bournemouth, beating them by 3-1 in an entertaining encounter. Sunderland came from a goal down in the second half through Jordan Henderson, playing to a 1-0 draw. Let's start with the English Premier League table. We see Arsenal continue to top the table, 6 points behind Manchester City, and 7 points behind Liverpool, who jumped to third. Sunderland see themselves moving to fourth. Bournemouth are also on fourth. All number 3 to number 5 are all on 18 points, sit on 18 points, while 6 to 8 find themselves on 17 points. Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea, Manchester United find themselves on 17 points. Crystal Palace, the only side with 16 points at number 9. Brighton 10 to number 10 and 11. Brighton and Aston Villa find themselves on 15 points. Brighton find themselves on 13, while Newcastle and Everton 13 and 14 find themselves in 13 and 14 respectively, each on 12 points. Fulham and Leeds United find themselves on 11, while Burnley find themselves on 10 points. Wolves find themselves on 2 points and remain the only side who are yet to taste victory. Betway Premiership midweek fixtures saw Amazulu lose by an odd goal at the Kings Relatina Stadium, while Amazulu, Chipa United and Magesi FC could not be separated, playing to a goalless stalemate. Kaiser Chiefs proving too strong for Orbit College when it was scoring 4 goals for the first time in the PSL since 2021, where they beat the Chippa United by 4 goals to nil. However, this time the 4-1, the Orbit College pulled a consolation goal through substitute Ayanda Lukele, while Flavio De Silva, a brace from Dusha and of course Mfundo Vilakazi was enough to give Kaiser Chiefs the 3 points. Kukune United and Richards Bay could not be separated, playing to a 1-0 draw. Wednesday saw Durban City and Morimo Gallants play to Durban City go back to winning ways, winning by an odd goal after falling short to Kaiser Chiefs last Friday. Golden Arrows fell short to Orlando Pirates, winning by 3 goals to 1, who won by 3 goals to 1. Mamelodi Sundowns, Otto Sales gave Sundowns the decider in the second half, I believe, against the Rockets. TS Galaxy going down by an odd goal. Stellenbosch struggles continued as they fell short to Swelele FC by 2 goals to 0. Let's have a look at how the table looks from the Betway Premiership perspective. Mamelodi Sundowns top the table, the defending champions, 3 points behind Orlando Pirates, who have 2 games in hand. Beaten twice, and with 1 draw. While Sundowns have 4 draws on the process, and then followed by rivals Kaiser Chiefs, who were set on top after winning, who were second after that win over Orbit College. However, they were toppled on a goal difference. Sukune moved down to 4th after spending some time at the top of the table with 21 points. Polokwane City jump up to 5th after their win over Amazulu, while Amazulu find themselves at number 6. Durban City are down to number 7, while TS Galaxy complete the top 8. Chippa United remain at the bottom, having won just once in 12 matches and sit on 7 points. Steelies, who have won just 2 in 12 games, second on the table, while third on the table is Magesi, who find themselves on 10 points. Orbit College, newcomers, debutants, Orbit College, 13 points at number 12. At number 13, Marimo Gallants find themselves at number 12, also with 13 points, along with Richards Bay, while Siwelele FC debutants, find themselves at number 10, while Golden Arrows are number 9, just outside the top 8. UEFA Champions League football also returned this week with Champions League football also returned this week with Napoli playing to a goalless draw against Eintracht Frankfurt. Slavia Praha fell short to Arsenal, who got on the score, have been unstoppable and in sensational form in all competitions. Beating them 3 goals to 0. A statement win from Atletico Madrid, who responded with a win from the Arsenal loss, beating Union Saint-Gilloise by 3 goals to 1. An odd goal win from Real Madrid was enough to give Liverpool the win. Olympiacos and PSV could not be separated, playing to a 1-1 draw alongside Juventus and Sporting Lisbon, while 10-man Bayern Munich beat PSG at home by 2 goals to 1. A game that saw the goal scorer in Luis Diaz getting sent off despite the brace after that tackle on Ashraf Hakimi, which might see him miss out on the upcoming AFCON, which will be hosted by his home country. Wednesday saw Pafos getting 1 over Villarreal, a win that no one saw coming. Karabakh and Chelsea played to a 2-0 draw. 4-1 win for Manchester City over Borussia Dortmund. But FC Barcelona and Club Brugge could not be separated, playing to an entertaining 3-0 draw. Inter Milan beating Karat Almaty by 2 goals to 1. Bayer Leverkusen beating Benfica, making it an unhappy return for coach Jose Mourinho, beating them by an odd goal. Galatasaray proving too strong for Ajax Amsterdam, beating them by 3 goals to 0. Newcastle proving too strong for Athletic Club by beating them by 2 goals to 0, while Olympique Marseille fell short at the end to Atalanta by an odd goal. Here's the Champions League table. Here's how the Champions League table looks, with Bayern Munich looking good, topping the table, the only side with 100% record, alongside Arsenal and Inter Milan, while Man City follow behind with just 2 points, having drawn that last game. Having drawn their previous games, having drawn one of their previous games, means they are on 10 points. Paris Saint-Germain had their undefeated beaten run and come to an end, meaning they are now on 5th position. Newcastle also find themselves on 9 points alongside Real Madrid and Liverpool. Outside the top 8, outside outside the automatic round of 16, we see Galatasaray, who are also on 9 points, while Tottenham Hotspur are on 10 points, while sit on 10 points. Barcelona to 10, number 10 to number 15, namely Tottenham, Barcelona, Chelsea, number 11 rather to number 15. Number 11 rather to number 15, namely Barcelona, Chelsea, Sporting, Borussia Dortmund, Karabakh, Atalanta all find themselves on 7 points, while Atleti find themselves on 6, PSV, Monaco, Pafos Leverkusen, and Leverkusen find themselves on 5. Club Brugge, Eintracht Frankfurt, and Napoli find themselves on 4 points. Marseille, Juventus, 25 to 28, Marseille, Olympic Marseille, Juventus, Athletic, Union Saint-Gilloise, Bordeaux Klimt find themselves on 3 points, while Bordeaux Klimt, Slavia Praha, and of course Olympiacos are yet to taste a win. Olympiacos are yet to win a game. Rather, number 29 to 36 yet to taste victory, namely in Union Saint-Gilloise, Bordeaux Klimt, Slavia Praha, Olympiacos, Villarreal, Copenhagen, Karat Amati, Benfica, Ajax are all to taste victory. Here's how the fixtures look for this week. We start with Richards Bay, who will be facing Orlando Pirates at the Moses Mabhida Stadium, and a fixture that will be played at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. Kickoff for that fixture is at 3 p.m., while Golden Arrows will face off against the team they beat 4-0 last week in Marumo Gallants. Arrows beat Marumo Gallants last week by 4-0. It remains to be seen whether or not they're gonna play it safe or do what they did last week to the Bloemfontein based side. It remains to be seen. However, this is a cup game. They might want to play it safe. They might want to force penalties. Time will tell. However, this is we will take it as far as we need to take it. This is a cup game. If we go to extra time, so be it. If we need penalties, so be it. Premier League fixtures, Betway Premiership takes a break for this week. We see English Premier League fixtures with Tottenham taking on Manchester United, and the first game, which kicks off in less than 35, which will kick off soon at half past. Kickoff for that fixture is at 1:30 Central African time. Everton take on Fulham. West Ham United take on Burnley. Sunderland welcome Arsenal, while Chelsea take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Chelsea on Sunday will see Crystal Palace take on Brighton. Aston Villa welcome Bournemouth at the Villa Park. Brentford will face off against Newcastle. Nottingham Forest will take on New Leeds United, while Manchester City will take on Liverpool in a blockbuster, which is also a much anticipated encounter for the day that is Sunday. Kickoff for that fixture is at 18:30. On to our, I believe the team sheets are out for the two sides. I believe the team sheets are out for both sides, or with both sides being Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham are on the road. This is how the sides line up. Let's start with Tottenham Hotspur. See if we can just find the. Seem to be struggling to find the starting 11. While we look for try to find that, we try and find the Manchester United starting 11. I believe the team sheets are out. With Manchester United, we found that Manchester United, Lamens starts on goals with Mazraoui, Matthias De Ligt, Harry Maguire. Bruno Fernandes retains his captaincy, while Matthias Cunha, Jeremy Doku, Ahmad Amad Diallo, Casemiro, Brian Mbuemo, and Luke Shaw complete the starting 11. On the bench, we see Bayanda, Dallo, Heaven, Lemmy Yoro, Mason Mount, Jason Fletcher, Manuel Ugarte, Benjamin Sheshko, and of course Joshua Zirkzee. Tottenham Hotspur. Let's see if we can find the starting 11 again. Unfortunately, I don't have the starting 11 because my system refuses to give us the starting 11 from a Tottenham point of view. Therefore, that's all we have on All Things Football. That's all I've brought you on All Things Football today. Big thank you to all those who will be taking the time to watch. Thank you in advance. The game between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United kicks off in 30 minutes time, while Orlando Pirates and Richards Bay will kick off in an hour, that being 1500 hours. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the show on YouTube, All Things Football Unpacked. Hit that like button, and subscribe, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notification of new episodes that come in every Saturday. We're not in, however, next week due to the international break. Therefore, we will return on the 22nd of November. And of course, Facebook. We are available on Facebook, like the page All Things Football Unpacked. The show will also be loaded on TikTok, All Things Football _ 14. Going forward, the show will also be on Spotify. In the near future, the show will also be on Spotify, most likely when we return from the AFCON on the 24th of November, or possibly later this year as we head into the AFCON break. This has been All Things Football Unpacked. Enjoy the show, enjoy the football. We're wishing the Springboks all the best. Tune into the Springbok game. DSTV users, now I don't get paid by DSTV to put them out, however I will put them out. DSTV users will now be treated to DSTV Premium for the weekend. That is open time, like back in the day. Where you'll get to see all your sporting codes, namely the Pakistan versus South Africa game, the third ODI. The score is currently 1-1. The series is currently leveled at 1-1, and last I checked, South Africa was currently on the bed. We wish the boys the best of luck. We hope they're going to get one over Pakistan after having had to come from one series down. We also wish the Springboks the best of luck with the match against France later at Start the France, and would like to congratulate our very own captain Nsia Kolisi, who reaches a milestone of 100 test caps today, and a game that kicks off at 22:10, which is 10 past 10 in South African time. Enjoy the show, enjoy the football. Let's give it a name and call it a day. Take care of yourselves and each other. Cheers.